This is the CHRILLCAST. I'm Chris.
And Will.
And I'm Zales.
And Zales, this is your first time on the podcast. Why don't you tell everybody who you are?
Yeah, hey, thank you for having me. I am Zales. I'm a rapper from the Bronx, New York, and I have a YouTube channel called Zales and Destroy.
And they can find you by going to youtube.com/ZALESUNO.
And also, I think I switched it now to a URL, so it's youtube.com/Zales and Destroy.
Oh, okay, that one works too. Let me try
Nice.
it. Let me try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm new to this YouTube game.
Yeah, that one works too. You're right. They both work. Okay.
Nice.
You got two URLs. Lucky you. So, what did you want? What did you bring to my attention? What did you want to talk about?
So I wanted to talk about skateboarding video games. My channel, its name is inspired by a skate video game called Thrasher Skate and Destroy.
Okay.
I actually have Skate and Destroy tattooed on my body.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
wow. Okay. Yeah.
Very cool. And the reason we got in touch with you is because you had been doing some stuff, or at least you've been communicating with Vic Blanco
Yeah.
Prod. So shout out to him.
Yep, big shout out.
Vic's a cool dude, and he was on our podcast before. So if you want to check that out, go do that. I'll put some links below. So what's the first game that you played as far as skating games go?
So the first instance that I've seen of skateboarding in a video game was actually the Simpsons arcade game when you play with Bart.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
And that was sick. But I didn't get into skateboarding until Tony Hawk 1 came out. So when that dropped, it was right around the time we did the 900, and so there was a lot of skateboarding stuff on ESPN. They were doing the X Games and stuff like that, and so seeing that blew my mind.
Yeah, the X Games, that was such a cool thing, like back when it was brand new to everybody, especially when they put it on TV. I remember seeing what some of the
Do they
tricks
still
would
have
do.
the X Games? Like, is that still a thing?
I'm sure they don't right now.
I know.
Oh,
Yeah, I think they still do it, but it's like the way it's broadcasted is so weird that you can't ever really catch what you want to catch.
Okay.
But I know there's like Street League skateboarding, which is that's a big competition thing. Huge pros like P-Rod and Nigel go there and kill it. Nostalgia.
I know, right? I always forget like what these games look like back in the day. It's like such a nostalgia trip.
It looked so good at that time though. Like you're like blew your mind. It's like this is the peak of animation, and now you're like this is kind of blocky, but it really brings back memories. I actually remember like playing this game and then thinking I could skateboard in real life and realizing that I have no balance.
This was the first one I ever played. Was you ever heard of Skate or Die?
It's an old school one.
Yeah, that was the first one I ever played. Actually, I sucked at it, but I liked it. Skate or Die, yes.
Sounds pretty gnar though. Skate or die.
Right. Yeah, it was this because I remember when I would boot it up and I could not figure out what was going on. Because like look at some of these screens. Like I wasn't very old when I was playing this game. I'll be honest. And I see this guy with this blue mohawk and I'm like, what is going on?
So cool. Goals.
But I remember there's the ramp. That was the one I would always do. I'd hop on the ramp and try to do this one. And man, this was difficult to control. Like with an NES, like this is an NES controller. Can you imagine trying to play this with an NES controller? That is ridiculous.
Probably as hard as really skating.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Like I think at the time that I was playing this, I didn't even have a skateboard yet. It wasn't until I played Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 that I got a skateboard and tried my hardest to skate, but I was never that
I think
great.
we never actually bought a skateboard because I actually went over my friend's house and tried to use his, and I, really scuffed up my knees and my wrists and my hands and stuff. So I learned quickly that wasn't for me.
I did. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, well, that's part of the territory, getting scraped up and stuff like that. You got to wear your scars proudly, man.
Yeah. Well, it's like it was one of those things. My friends like, this is the easiest move you can do, where essentially you can just like stand on the edge of the skateboard. That's all. Like basically just lean back. I couldn't even manage that. I would just fall right off.
You were a bit lanky for skateboarding, I think.
Oh, I don't know. I guess I don't know.
This remake is good.
Dude, I'm very excited to play it. I haven't played it yet, but I'm excited to get it and play it. Haven't had time yet.
So this back here is actually the deck from the collector's edition.
Oh, of this one?
Yeah, so my sister was able to nab it for me. I hung it up because it's not gonna get skated.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
that's
used to
cherished.
when I did skate back in the day, I used to use a Baker skateboard.
All right, I just bought a Baker board.
Yeah, it was like an all red one. Had like a, I don't know if it had a skull on it. I cannot remember. I haven't skateboarded in so long at this point. But
I'm skating now.
I
Yeah.
developed like a interest in like Bob Burnquist and Andrew Reynolds back in the day. I don't
Oh,
know if I pronounced that right, but they never tell you how to pronounce them in the N64 version. So,
no, they
No.
don't.
Mm-mm.
but those were the two that I really liked playing as on the game. So of course I bought a Baker skateboard due to that reason.
Yeah, that's
Very cool.
definitely what happened with everybody. You get
Hmm.
influenced by your favorite skater, and you go check
Mhm.
out, their deck companies and their sneaker companies, and then
Hmm.
you support your locals, support your
Mhm.
core skate groups and brands and stuff.
So which one's your favorite in the series?
Okay, my favorite in this series, so uh, I think it's gonna be Tony Hawk Underground. The
Oh
story
yes.
of that, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and that New York level was so great. Being
Agreed.
from New York, seeing like, you know, how different areas that would be completely like 3 miles away from each other were all put on the same block.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like
They have
NYU is
to.
up the block from the Jacob Javits Center. What is this?
Yes, it is. What are you talking about?
So
Uh,
what is the coolest area in this game? What's your favorite part to skate?
the favorite area in the game of Thug. Hmm. Wow, it's been a long time since I played that game.
Hmm.
uh, see, I really like the New York level. There's the banks, the Brooklyn banks, that is actually, you know, I don't know if this guy's gonna actually see it in this video, but there's the Brooklyn banks. Yeah, so that's an actual area. It's underneath the Brooklyn Bridge on the Manhattan side,
Okay.
and it's like I love to skate it, even though it's such a rudimentary place in the game because you can barely do anything there that's impressive. But
Mm-hmm.
skating there for real is just I love it. Spent so much time there as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
actually sleeping out there, just skating. So
Mm-hmm.
that's my favorite place for nostalgia reasons. Level wise, hmm, the favorite line. That's a toughie. That's a real toughie. I have to go back and look at those levels. It's
I
been a
guess
long.
Mm-hmm.
so. Did you ever stop playing the Tony Hawk games, or did you faithfully continue playing them as they got progressively less popular?
So after Underground 2, I was like, okay, this is kind of taking a different route. It was going more the Viva La Bam,
Mm-hmm.
Jackass route, and then they did Shred and Ride with the big old board. Uh, my nephew had it, and I would actually try to do tricks on that big old board, and so we would scuff up the floors here. I'm a grown man trying to do this with this
Yeah.
nephew.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I played a little bit of Project 8 and America's Wasteland was all right, but it was too like punk rock for me. I'm an East Coast street guy, so
Okay.
I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I need some hip hop. What's going on here?
I thought the mechanics in American Wasteland were really good, but yeah, it was a very punky game. It,
Yeah,
it definitely felt
Mm-hmm.
like if you were into like Green Day and alternative rock bands at the time,
yeah,
you might have been into American Wasteland.
Yeah.
But yeah,
yeah.
the soundtracks were way different in the Underground and the Pro Skater games.
I like the way they did the level, how it's like one giant level, even though you had to go through those little hallways.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, the not loading. You're playing through a loading screen, but it was kind of
Yeah.
cool. I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I definitely dropped off after I think American Wasteland was the last one I played before the remake came out and
Yeah.
recaptured my attention.
This is the last one I played. The one you have in the background right now.
Okay.
What is going
I
on in this?
I don't know. I don't remember this at all, which is why I'm super surprised because I thought I beat this game, but this I don't remember this at all.
Torturing Bam's dad. That's
Yeah.
weird.
Oh, is that Bam in there? That's such a
Yeah.
pixelated Bam. Oh yeah, it is. It's so weird to see them in like PS1, PS2 graphics nowadays, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's uncanny valley for sure.
So, do you think that's why they kind of lost the audience? Was because they changed the format into the more comedic route?
Yeah, I feel that a lot of the core like skaters kind of felt neglected by, the kind of extra stuff. Like they were adding vehicles and you started to drive, and then Skate came out, EA Skate series,
Yeah.
and it really pushed the envelope because it was a skate simulation.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like what Forza does for racing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, of course, it's funny because Skate ended up having a weird like trick lining community where people play like really weird. It's almost like they're playing Tony Hawk in Skate. I don't know if you ever seen stuff like that.
No, I'm going to look this up now.
No.
Yeah, trick lining. It's bugged out like Skate 3 trick lining.
See if I can get this. This right here looks like this.
Yeah, they just it's bananas.
Oh yeah, you're right. That is basically how they do Tony Hawk's, where you're just continuously doing as many tricks in a row as you can, right?
Yep.
I love the guy's hat.
Yeah, I have to say, like, for being a realistic sim of a skating game, this looks like Tony Hawk more so than the realistic sim that it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
So
it was made to be possible, so there's some kind of trick to it.
Did you so as far as skating goes, do you find that the Tony Hawk's games made you more interested in skating, or did you do it before the games came out?
So that influenced me to skate.
Okay.
Seeing the game, and I think at that point, because the X Games, of course, was so park and vert oriented, seeing people actually doing it in the street and being able to kind of do it vicariously in the game made me want to go out there and actually start skating.
And about how much of your time do you think you spent skating as a kid?
Ooh, so I started skating at 10 years old, and I still skate now, and I'm 32. So it's how I get around. It's It's not like I'm, doing stuff like this guy here. But it's something that I just like to do. It's like riding a bike to me.
Okay. I had a buddy that actually skateboarded through Europe.
Oh,
so that's cool. That's how he got around, and he would couch surf, and then he ended up getting hit by a van and married this old lady, and then she nursed him back to health. It was like, it's a whole story.
It's a good skate story.
Yeah, it is. He still skates. Now he's down in Ecuador. That's where he's from originally. So actually, he might be in Alaska now. I don't quite remember.
Well, if we can find a good video of somebody skateboarding, maybe this would be a good one. Skateboarding through New York.
This is dope. New York.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Looks like it's a kid skateboarding through here. Oh, maybe not. Never mind.
All right, yeah, that's the banks. Oh, I'm lost. Oh no.
That's me.
Oh.
I can still see. I can still hear you, but I couldn't see you.
Back.
You're back. You're good.
Yeah, that's the Brooklyn Banks right there.
Yeah, the coolest experience on a skateboard or any kind of board on wheels was I longboarded through Cleveland at about 2 a.m. down the bus lane. And I did like the whole thing.
Yep, it's clear. You're empty. You could just go and just do whatever. Be free.
It was probably one of the coolest experiences of my young adult life.
Yeah, bad.
It's been over a decade ago now. But yeah, so that was pretty cool. What would you say is the coolest place, other than the video game, as far as skating in real life? Is that still your favorite place to skate? Is where we talked about earlier?
Well, that place is actually like closed down, and they're doing construction. They're removing bricks, which are like iconic to the spot. There's actually a pro skateboarder. I believe his name is Steve Rodriguez. He runs a company called Five Borough, and they're trying to save the banks. They're trying to continue it as a skate spot because of all the stuff that went down there, like from the 90s and all the stuff that went down there skate wise.
Let's see. This is it right here. This is a video that kind of talks about it.
Unfortunately, they have to save the banks like every couple of years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it just because people want to shut it down because of things that have happened there?
Oh no, it's just they, you know how in New York it's always like space is always needed for something.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
okay,
know, I'm
okay.
sure they want to build something there. Yeah.
Yeah. Even though it's under the bridge and it be like a park, I don't know if they're trying to make it like a public thoroughfare or sometimes they park their police cars in there because it's right by the big police precinct down there.
Hmm.
Because it's right by City Hall.
Okay. Cool. I'm glad that somebody cares enough to, try and keep it open and keep it the way it is.
Yeah.
Because you'd hate to lose the history that you have there, especially since you have such a
Yeah.
connection to it.
Hmm. It's sad because other very legendary skate spots have all been torn down or closed up. Like in Philadelphia, which is in the Tony Hawk level, the Love Park, which has the big love sign in it, used to be
Hmm.
like a legendary skate spot. They tore all that stuff down. The EMB in San Francisco, I believe, is torn down. And so you see these places in videos, and I've always wanted to like visit places that I see in skate videos. Don't show me the beach, show me the skate spots.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Mhm.
I have to say, I do think that the industry, the skateboarding industry, and the video games in skateboarding have direct impacts on each other. Because the more kids that are interested in the skating games, the more kids that are
Yeah.
interested in getting into skateboarding, and
Yeah,
then
it
the
definitely
more
seems
these
that.
videos are promoted.
Yeah, it definitely seems that when the skateboarding games started to go down in popularity, the skateboarding in general seemed to be less popular as well. Like I might be just completely out of it, but it seemed like it was such a huge deal in the 90s growing up and into the early 2000s. And then suddenly like kids just didn't seem to be like there were still kids doing it, but it didn't seem as popular with the generations coming up. I don't know if you feel the same way.
Yeah, there's always like an ebb and flow with the popularity of skating. At first, if you go through the history of skating, like in the '60s with the
Mhm.
Z Boys and the surfer style, before they did the pools, and then the beginning of like the pro competitions and everybody was skating, and then Tony Hawk like first starting with the Bones Brigades, and for like 10 years like no one talked about Tony Hawk. He was a pro for like 10 years as a kid, doing it. And now he has his game, and now he's landing like the most elusive trick, in skateboard history. And now it's like all the sponsors want to know what's up, and
Mhm.
all the kids are picking up skateboards, so let's jump on this trend, you know.
It did seem that
Yes.
way. As soon as Tony Hawk made it big, everybody was talking about Tony Hawk Pro Skater and Tony Hawk in general. And he
Yeah.
even had his own shoe line and everything. He's got, I mean, he has hit it as big in skateboarding as you probably can.
Hmm.
But now people
Speaking
don't
of
even
Tony
recognize
Hawk,
him anymore, right?
it's his Twitter. His Twitter is hilarious. It's like, aren't you Tony Hawk? And it's like, yeah. See you with a skateboard. Are you good on that thing? Sometimes.
I love his Twitter. It's
Yeah,
hilarious.
it's awesome. It's
There-
crazy because Tony Hawk now rides for Vans.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, he rides for Vans now. He left his old sponsor, which was Audio. It's almost like a heartbreak when a skater leaves like a brand that they've been on forever. It's like, what? That happened?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That, and it seems like it's that way for like everything. Like, remember when Ninja left Twitch? It was like that kind of an impact.
Or Brady left the
The
Patriots.
Patriot, yeah, like any of these like huge names like leaving that brand, it's always like, what, how is this possible? And
Well, I remember when Pujols left to St. Louis, and I was like, "Oh man, Pujols, he done me dirty." Went to
Well-
the Angels, and I don't think he's played as well since.
or like the straight up the Cardinal, not the Cardinal, yeah, the Cardinals leaving St. Louis, right?
No, the Rams left.
The
St.
Rams,
Louis.
the Rams.
We don't.
Sorry.
We do not speak their name.
Sorry.
No, people in
I don't know
St.
why I was
Louis
thinking
are super
Cardinals.
bitter about that. Like, you really don't talk about the Rams in St. Louis.
Can't imagine why.
This man is 52 years old,
And he's still skating.
and he's
I
still
I
rips.
don't understand that. Yeah,
It's crazy.
I get sore from sitting down.
Tony Hawk, 52 skating. Let's try it. See what happens. Tony Hawk, 50 tricks at age 50. There you go. Yeah, he's such a legend. Like, when I think of the really, really, really popular and talented athletes from my childhood, I think of like Tony Hawk. He was one of them. Or like
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan. Definitely like Tiger Woods
Mark
before he got in
McGwire,
trouble,
Mike
Sammy
Tyson.
Sosa, Mike Tyson.
and Mike Tyson. It's crazy. Like all these guys are getting old now, but Tony
Yeah.
Hawk still got it. Ooh, wow, that
Ugh.
looked painful. Like people talk about football being dangerous, but I really think there's nothing more dangerous than skating.
It's gotta be. I feel like there's gotta be some kind of study where football must be worse because they're getting impacted all the time. A good
Yeah.
skater doesn't fall. You know, a good football player gets smashed all the time.
That's true.
He has a point there.
That's true.
Yeah.
I just remember seeing all the wipeouts. People would be like completely destroyed.
Yeah.
Oh man, some people get really destroyed. That's why I don't skate like rails. Vert is scary. I've never dropped into like a vert ramp that big. And the last time I actually tried to drop in, I sprained my ankle, and that stopped me from skating for a while.
I
Now, what do you think the impact of the music industry has been on skating? Do you think that as music evolves and changes, that skating gets less popular as the music genres change too?
I think with music, I think they kind of go hand in hand with how skateboarding is like so culture, and it uses like punk music, a lot of hip hop music, and skateboarding is the misfit sport. A lot of people don't think of it as a sport, even though it's like super acrobatic and really like there's a lot of physicality involved in it, but it's more of a creative, more of a mental game where you're fighting against yourself. It's not like a competition. It's like you could be skating a competition, but you're not worried about what anybody else is doing. You're like, I gotta land these tricks, 'cause, and
you can invent your own tricks, which is really cool.
and so it's a lot of musicians, especially the ones that are popular now skate, like Hobson skates, Tyler the Creator skates, Will Smith's son Jaden skates. I just saw Little Skies like ad where he's like has a skateboard. Steve Caballero, the guy who's a character in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, he's in a band. Mike Vallely, Mike V, is the front man of Black Flag. So rock and punk and street culture goes with skating. They go together. Even though
really
people
do.
don't think so, but they do.
Yeah, I can totally see that. Definitely.
I think that's part of the reason why it blew up so much in the 90s and early 2000s, because so did that music, and that the idea of that counterculture became like, I don't know, it was almost like everyone had to be part of the counterculture, so it ended up becoming the culture at the point.
Yeah.
Now, who's your favorite?
Even Disney had a movie on skateboarding. Do you remember the Disney skateboarding movie?
Which one was that?
I don't know. It was like a direct
The Goofy
TV
one, right? Goofy one?
They're all goofy. It's
No, because there was the Goofy movie where he went to college. They did the X Games.
I remember that. I remember that
definitely
one.
skated,
Yeah.
yes, in that.
Which was so weird because the best skater at the school was like some rich prep dude, and I'm like, what?
That's not really.
That was a theme though in the Disney movies. If you remember back in that time, like there was like skiing movies and rollerblading movies, and it was always like the rich preppy kid that was the best. They always had to take him down.
I don't ever remember there being
lessons.
I don't remember any particular like rich preppy kids
it's
being
like,
good at skating.
well, now I'm thinking about it, it's like literally that was the trope. That was every single film.
It's really
Disney
true.
Indoctrinating me. I hate.
I've seen this video. This video is awesome.
Oh yeah, I've seen this one too. That was just came out last year. Yeah, this was actually recommended to me on YouTube after like 5 years of never recommending any skateboarding content to me.
Oh.
But I'm very excited to play the new games. What would you say is your biggest takeaway from the new games?
It's the Tony Hawk that we know and love, just updated for our times graphically. It's the same Tony Hawk gameplay that we love, but the graphics, it's how we thought it looked when we were kids. And I like how they bring in the new guard, like Tony's son Riley's in the game. He's been in I think he was in the last one in 5. I'm excited that there's a fellow Bronxite in the game, Tyshawn Jones, and I can put a do-rag on my character now. So thank you, Ty.
Nice.
There
Nice.
you go. Do they have custom characters now?
Yeah, you can make custom characters. It was there
Awesome.
since the second one, but now it's like crazy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm practicing right now. Ollies. I'm trying to get my ollies back.
I guarantee you I couldn't do one right now, but I could back in the day. I could at least do an ollie back in the day. That was not the best thing I ever did, but it was getting there. I think I was like pretty close to mastering a kickflip, and then that was when I gave up.
Kicks are hard.
Yeah, they are. I definitely got the skateboard kicking me right in the face at least 100 times trying to do that.
Oh, so many injuries, so many.
Yeah.
Sprained ankles, rip my wrist hurts a little bit from like skating the other day and falling on it.
Yep.
And I got a skinned knee. My feet are always hurting. I got to soak my feet.
Yeah.
Now, if somebody that was younger was getting into skateboarding now, what advice would you give them?
So the things I would advise, most importantly for a young person who's starting to skate, is to stay away from sketchy people at the skate park. That's number one. Skateboarding is it's a sport, but there's a culture that's kind of seedy that's involved with it. There's a lot of drugs, a lot of drinking. There's nothing wrong with like partying and having moderation, but a lot of skaters get too caught up in the partying lifestyle and they mess up their lives. Pros just, have their whole careers just go bust because they're just partying too hard. Always just work on the basics. If you feel like you're not progressing, go back, get something that, that you feel like you're not great at and perfect it. And it's good for life, because that's what you do. You say, I got to go back to the basics, go back to square one. And with skateboarding, it's not how hard you slam, it's how you get back up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
I think that's great advice, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just for life in general, for sure.
Yeah.
And one more.
Go ahead.
Support your local skate shop. Support your local skate shops.
You hear that? No Amazon purchases. Go to the skate shop. I definitely agree with that. If you can find something local over going online and ordering it, always support local business.
Mm-hmm.
And then, let me see. I just wanted to pull up one more thing. Is there anything else you wanted to bring up?
Yeah, so right now there's some games in development.
Oh.
So we have Easy Day Studios. They came out with Skater XL. There is also another game by Creature Studios. These are independent devs. It's called Session. So those are the two ones duking it out.
Okay.
Oh, that looks good.
Yeah, it does.
You said the other one's called Session?
And the other one's called Session. So this is the one that this is the one I stream. This is the one I like better.
That's me skating. Right there, that's me.
That looks better. There we go. The falling animation was a little interesting, but other than that, it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so these are the two games. I wish they could combine these and make like the perfect game. I'm biased towards this one because it takes place in New York, and so of course,
fair
you
enough.
can skate the banks in this one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like skate, but they kind of make the controls a little bit more complicated, in which each stick controls 1 foot each. I think that's what they went for on this one, and so it's different. This one is in early access. I believe Skater XL has been released. It's in 1.0 now, and since these came out, rumor mill says that EA might be working on a Skate 4. So
yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah.
I know, like every EA, there people are hoping for Skate 4 to finally be announced.
Which one was the one that came with the skateboard as part of the game? Was that the original Skate?
Oh no, I think that was that Tony Hawk shred thing.
Yeah,
it wasn't
I
like a
believe you're
board. It was just like it was a board, but it had no wheels on it.
Yeah. It was like the Wii motion board thing.
Yeah, like sensors.
Yeah, that's it. You're right, shred. That was the one. So yeah. It just looks so funky trying to use that thing on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I watch this guy's videos too.
Do you?
Yeah.
This is the first time I've
anything,
seen this guy.
anything skateboarding related and skateboarding game related, I check it out because I just love skateboarding. It's been a part of my life. I do it with my kids. I do it with all my friends. It's going to be coming to my channel soon, where I'm skating with friends and
Very cool.
you know, just doing all types of stuff. You know, because I know my channel is called Skate and Destroy, and a lot of people might misconstrue it as I'm out to destroy others, but I'm actually out destroying myself here. Learning.
Destroying others is only a small part of it.
Yeah, you know, we're skating and we're you know, breaking ourselves down to build ourselves back up again.
Very cool.
I will quickly, and I'll let you do this too, but I do have a shout out for a couple of our friends that have a skating channel that like doesn't get very much love. Let's see if that. Oh, that's not it. It's on that Game Crew. They did skateboarding in Japan. I'm trying to find their skate channel.
Wait. Is it who I think it is?
Might be. Oh, here it is. Crew Adventures. There it is.
Crew Adventures. Oh, okay. You say he's out in Japan skateboarding?
They did do some skateboarding in Japan and China.
All right.
Let's see.
There's a guy that's been doing some stuff. He has like a brand called Erased.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't remember what his name is exactly, but if he's in Japan, they probably linked up.
They might have, yeah.
Japan looks like a great place to skate.
Oh, I bet it is, yeah. Here's one of their new ones, I think. This one. This was like 2 months ago. But they've got all these highlight videos they've been doing forever.
Oh yeah, no, these guys rip. Down rails.
Yeah, shout out to Shane and Cameron from the FU Game Crew.
Mm-hmm.
They got some cool stuff. So who are you mentioning?
I don't remember his name, but I believe it's a bigger channel because they do like great cinematography and stuff.
I was just saying, like, if you wanted to shout a channel out, here's your chance.
Oh, shout a channel out. Let me see here, because we're talking skateboarding. Let's see here. Okay.
I don't want to skate now. I feel like I'm really missing out.
Don't get me started. I'm probably gonna go grab my board.
I know. I like
clock, go do a night cruise.
bringing up all my old jealousy again.
Skateboarding and biking at night are both. I feel like it's one of the best experiences, especially when it's like this fall weather.
Oh, yeah. Fall is the best time to skate. I love it. It's and fall in New York is just great, and I think that's just, it screams New York skating in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I love how they put the COVID-19 warning on a skating video because they put Wuhan, China in there.
Oh my gosh.
Nice job, Shane.
All right, 1 second. I'll get that channel for you in a moment. Why is everything?
I guess while you're looking for that shout out, do you have any questions for us?
So, who are your favorite skaters?
Like I said earlier, I really liked Bob Burnquist a lot, and I also liked Andrew Reynolds.
Well, I wanted to go with Tony Hawk because that's the only one I can name. Like, at one time, I knew so many more, but it's something that, you know, I stopped paying attention when the game stopped being as popular.
And I know it's like I've been doing it for so long. It's pretty much like something that I hold on to from childhood. Is there anything that you guys do that you like still do from when you were a kid, just to like loosen up and just be free?
I still play Ultimate Frisbee quite a bit well, not this summer. But like when the guys get together, I do like to do that. And obviously I like the game still. I like that quite a bit.
Yeah, you gotta have outlets, especially during this time. It's crazy. Yeah.
But now that I've got my kids, I'm trying to get them into like some simple board games so we can get into some board gaming as they get older.
Oh, my kids, they love the video games. They're like Hungry Hippos. That's like the one board.
There you go. That's a fun one. That's such a throwback. just like, come on, get up. You know, Hungry Hippos is that's a fun one.
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love the commercial. Hungry Hippos.
I haven't seen it in so long. Yeah, for me, on mine, I really like fishing, and I live in Michigan, so there's like, it's the land of 1,000 lakes, and there are lakes everywhere. I think Minnesota is the land of 1,000 lakes. However, it is the Great Lakes state, so there are lakes literally everywhere.
All right, I'm sending a link in the chat. That is a friend of mine.
Let me grab that chat real quick. Copy
So
link.
he is another fellow Bronxite. He is actually documenting his skateboarding journey. He is starting from square one as a brand new skateboarder. And so he's been doing that.
YouTube.com/Vibe the Legacy.
Yep, he just hit 100 subs. So he and I are now in the 100 sub club.
Congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Next goal is 1,000, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm trying to get in a video with this guy so we can skate together. I've been like, hey, let's go skate. But our schedules don't match up. He's nocturnal.
Yeah, there's not many people that line up with our schedule all the time, but I'm pretty nocturnal myself, I'm not gonna lie. So like Will and I, we have to find a time when he's awake and I'm awake at the same time.
Yep.
My kids wake me up like drill sergeants. I'm up at like the crack of dawn every day. They're like, let's go.
Butt crack it down, yeah.
My oldest son wakes up at like 5:30 in the morning. So like I'm like a 12/1 a.m. to like 5 a.m. sleeper.
Oh.
That's my day to day. Yeah, but this looks like a very entertaining channel, I will say, because he's like coming from the very beginning of skating, right? And he's like learning it as he goes. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. And so he's trying to push himself. His friend said he can go pro in 6 months. Crazier things have happened, but if he can do it, whatever, we'll see. It's going to be on his channel.
He could be definitely. I think in 6 months you could be a pro entertainer if you do it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was speaking to a friend. They're like, you don't even have to be like really good. You just have to do something for the culture, and then the love will come. People will just say, hey, we're going to support this because, even though he may not be doing the craziest trick, he's skating from the heart, and that's what counts.
Well, he's getting over 1,000 views of video so far. That's awesome.
Yeah. He's been promoing like crazy.
Looks like it, yeah.
I can learn some stuff from this guy.
We could learn some stuff from this guy.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
Anyway, did you have anything else you wanted to add or any other questions?
Look up Thrasher Skate and Destroy, the one game that was it was like a Tony Hawk competitor way back in the day. This game
I've
is
heard
like
of this.
my jam. Nikki Jakey did a whole video about this. What is this game? This game right here.
Wow.
Look
this
at those
thing,
graphics.
Yeah, it was like a hardcore skate sim. Thrasher magazine actually had it put out. It was completely like old school hip hop soundtrack. This thing, Tony Hawk started me skateboarding. This, I think, made me a skateboarder for life. This game right here.
I gotta ask one question. Was he chasing him off the scene with a taser?
Yes. So in that game, in Tony Hawk, right? Your 2-minute run ends, and that's it. The clock time, runs out. In this game, instead of just having a clock run out, you get chased out of there. So you got to escape a cop.
Oh man!
You got to exit the level and then to actually finish the level. There weren't any goals in this game besides high scores, but the way that the tricks worked, there wasn't with Tony Hawk you do X to ollie and then you do direction with the button to do a trick and then you can go into a grind. This was you had to set up, you held triangle to do a kickflip and then you let it go at the right time, and then it was like skate before skate. It was skate before analog sticks.
Oh man, I forgot about that because the PS1 came without analog sticks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh man, that would be tough. Very cool though. Yeah.
And this is where my channel kind of gets its name from.
That makes sense.
I love this game. and I love the skateboarding, you know, the attitude, the lifestyle, you know. You're just out here doing crazy stuff, being daredevils, wrecking our body just to say we did it. Look what I can do.
Well, absolutely. I mean, it's such a cool thing when you can do something that nobody else can and come out, you know, unscathed, or even if you are scathed, you know, same. It's still cool because you can say you did it.
Yes.
So, did you have anything else?
I think that's all.
All right, guys.
We
Well,
covered a lot of skateboarding stuff.
absolutely. If you guys haven't already done so, make sure you go over to youtube.com/ZalesandDestroy. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get them to like 150 subscribers. That'd be pretty cool. Get them past that next milestone. We can't get them to 1,000 because we only have 500 ourselves, but get them closer.
Everyone subscribe twice.
Yeah, 2 accounts, please. No. But he's got a cool channel. He's got some music up on here. He's got some live streams he does with video games. And he's friends with Vic, so you know he's cool.
Yeah, definitely.
As always.
Can't wait to do some stuff with Vic.
Absolutely, yeah. Some live streams with Vic would be cool.
Yeah.
As always, I'm Chris.
And I'm Will.
And I'm Zales. Peace out.
And we will see you
on the next CHRILLCAST. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.